This is an image taken from space, from the International Space Station, that is, of Typhoon Neoguri here on Sunday morning, Japan Standard Time. Now I'm making this update right around 1300 Japan Standard Time. This is a very serious storm system, people. We're going to continue to watch this over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours as it does approach Okinawa and the southern Japanese islands. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you. We're going to be breaking down this storm system in this video update, but I do want to get a few things out of the way first. Just a reminder, I don't say this enough, we are not an official agency by any means. I'm making this here at my desktop at home. We have several other meteorologists who join in with each other, and we really just try to put out the best information we can in English. There's plenty of information out here in the Western Pacific on typhoons, but most of us can speak multiple languages, so that helps out in trying to relate some of this information there to you as well. The other thing is that we are going to be doing a video live cast at 1900 Japan Standard Time here on Sunday. So if you're watching this video update sometime during the afternoon, the evening hours, come back around 1900 to the same YouTube channel. We're going to have myself, another meteorologist, and some people from Okinawa talking about this storm system and answering your questions out here on what is going to be developing as we head into Monday night and Tuesday. Plus, Tuesday morning, I plan on just clearing out my schedule. We're going to be running a live cast as well, just following the storm system as it comes ashore. By the afternoon hours, I will be back on air at NHK World. That's where I work Monday through Friday, so you can watch me there as well. But morning hours, I'll be here with you on the YouTube channel. So let's talk about this storm system, Typhoon Neoguri. Take a look at this on the satellite imagery. It is an absolutely impressive storm. Eye is really well developed, actually about 50 kilometers in diameter at this time. This is the latest track from the Japan Meteorological Agency. Winds of 167, gusting up to 241 kilometers per hour. That puts it on the very strong typhoon scale. Just so you know, we often use here at Westpac Weather the JMA official scale. That is strong, very strong, and violent typhoon. We use super typhoon because a lot of you use it, but we try not to because that is actually quite confusing. 3 agencies in the Western Pacific use that scale, and all 3 have a different definition of it. Take a look at Neoguri's track from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, though. They have a much stronger, actually big difference here. One reason is JTWC has a 1-minute wind scale, vice JMA's 10-minute scale. Either way, this is still a dangerous storm system. 222 gusting up to 269 kilometers per hour, moving northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. So this storm system is racing off. And what that means, it is not going to be taking its time as it does approach you here in the southern Japanese islands. As we take a look ahead into basically Monday night into Tuesday morning, this will just descend upon you, and what we're going to be seeing is conditions deteriorate rather quickly during the overnight hours. Actually, starting here by Monday night, I expect winds in Okinawa to be around 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. By Tuesday morning, they're going to be picking up the typhoon strength. This is not a storm system to take lightly at all, people, because what we are seeing, and you can see here on this imagery, the right front quadrant of it will be pushing just there towards the west of Naha and the main island of Okinawa. What that means is that you are going to be in the right front quadrant, the worst of this eye wall, and especially if it tracks as close as what JMA is expecting it to track, and they're expecting it just to move off the western seaboard of Naha here. And if this follows through, I mean, this is going to be a very dangerous storm system. Take a look at the last storm, actually. I have some video of the last storm shot by James Reynolds, who is on his way currently to Okinawa to film this storm. I mean, when he comes, he's the Jim Cantori, if you know what Jim Cantori is, of the Western Pacific. He comes, you have to be ready for this storm system. This was Typhoon Jelawat in 2012, and this had typhoon strength winds, but not on par of this same storm system. Actually, this was pushing about Cat 1, Cat 2 winds max. If JTWC's track holds up, that's the U.S. military's track, this is going to be pushing Cat 5 winds. The last storm that we saw with Cat 5 intensity was Haiyan, which came ashore. Now, this will not be any way remotely close to Haiyan as far as the impacts, but it is going to be very serious. Take a look at our wind graph. Taking a look here at the winds expected from the storm system away from that center of circulation. Naha could be seeing Cat 3 to Cat 4, but extending away from that center of circulation, we could be seeing upwards of as high as 1 and 2, and that still could provide some significant damage to some areas out here. So even if you are removed from that eye wall, this still has a very massive winds field as well, and that's something to keep in mind. So if you are out here, you really need to prepare. Anything you can pick up in your yard, like you and one other person can pick up and lift, probably not a good idea to leave that there unsecured. It will get picked up, it will get flown, and that's what causes damage here in Okinawa. It's not the storm surge, it's not flooding most of all. We do get flooding, but it is loose debris that goes flying. If you go back to that video I just showed you a second ago, what we were seeing out here was signs flying, stuff flying in the windows, and that's what causes damage. So this is what we're going to be seeing over the course of the next, well, basically Monday night into Tuesday. Stay inside. If you're being told to stay inside, just don't head out. That's the big thing. Okinawa is built for these storms. It is built for basically dealing with typhoons. That's why everything's made out of concrete. There's very strict building codes. If you are worried about storm surge, I don't think you should be all that much. Okinawa's southern coast here, it really is mostly cliffs. It's very scenic down here, even though we're going to be seeing a storm surge basically come onshore along the southern periphery. This is very low population area, and unless you're in some of these beaches, you're not going to have to be worrying too much about that rising flood level. There is an area just towards the northeast of where I have our image here. There is some basically suburban areas right along the coastline. I'm sure these people are getting ready for it. We have a park out here as well for that risk of rising flood levels as this storm system does come ashore. As far as Naha itself and the airport, I did see some people asking about if their flights were going to get delayed. That is definitely very likely, especially on Monday into Tuesday. Naha's airport is right along the southern coast of the island. Yes, it will be along the western seaboards of where these winds are going to be coming ashore, but you could be seeing some flooding on the runways. Plus, once these outer rain bands start coming in, I mean, this is just not going to be very pleasant there for you. As far as our military friends here into Okinawa, and especially a lot of the military live off there towards Kadena, what I can tell you is that you are by far much farther off there towards the north than what these areas I'm talking about there towards the south. That's the good news. You're also on the western periphery, so the worst of the weather, or at least the worst of the waves, will be off here towards the east. If you live along the eastern coastline, this is where it's all going to be. Over here, that's where the high waves are going to be. I think the highest of the winds will be down here towards the south. This is going to come on shore, though. If we see some funneling, this is going to bring some, well, pretty damaging winds out here. So your biggest problem is going to be the winds coming across the island off here towards the north, and that's what could cause some very significant and serious damage if you don't secure everything outdoors. And if you think your weather is going to be bad, I do want to point out Kumijima, which is off here towards the west. They're going to take the brunt of this storm system. Probably will have the eye pass directly over them as well. And I do think they're going to be seeing possibly Cat 4 winds out of this storm system. So this is a few things we're continuing to watch and monitor very closely here as we look ahead going through Monday night into Tuesday. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let us know there in the comment box below. I really would like to hear your feedback. As far as we can tell, western parts of Japan, the biggest threat with this storm system as we look ahead is going to be the winds there in parts of western Kyushu, South Korea as well. You're going to be seeing that risk of some damaging winds coming out of this storm system. I know we still have a lot of military actually watching from Sasebo as well. Fukuoka area, you're going to feel this, and you're probably going to feel the effects of some typhoon strength winds, but more so Kyushu, Kagoshima area, Shikoku, and over towards the Kii Peninsula. This is really going to be bringing that threat of flooding out here, and we often see that. You get this moisture surging in from the south. It's going to hit the mountains, and these mountains, they act like a very efficient sponge. And what I mean by that is that you're going to be seeing a very significant threat of flooding. It just squeezes out the moisture from these storm systems, and it squeezes it on there, and you could easily get 700-800 millimeters of rainfall. That's some significant totals, and we could see rapid river level rise and landslides. So this is not a weak storm system, and especially for a July storm recurving this far north. We don't have a very powerful jet stream tearing it apart. Yes, that is going to contribute in the end to this storm system weakening out here, but it's not as strong as what we would see in a October, November type of storm that often recurves off there towards the north. This is much weaker as far as the jet stream, and that's going to allow the storm system to maintain a little bit strength a little bit longer as this pushes out here. So if you're across much of mainland Japan, Wednesday and the Thursday is not going to be a very pleasant time at all, especially for western parts of Japan from Kyushu up through the Osaka, Kyoto area. Busan, southern Korea as well, is also going to be having a very direct impact from this storm system. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. And as always, stay safe out there. Bye.